Get started here. I think Jim was going to pass out. What is it? You're going to share pecans with everybody? Is that it or what?
Pecans. John tried to poison me with this morning. I didn't know. But he did it out of love and compassion. Is it good? Is it healthy?
Well, I'll definitely hopefully maybe clarify some of that today. Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're excited to have Alan Behringer speaking for us today here at the Wise Counsel here at the Florida Yacht Club. Alan is a representative of Standard Process, a company based in Wisconsin, and he travels a good part of the state educating people on good health. And as I said, he's been very connected and spoken many times for Dr. Gil Weiss, our compound pharmacist, 85-year-old guy. Probably just, I say he's the smartest guy on health that I've met in Jacksonville, and he's a walking encyclopedia, and Alan is right behind him, if not ahead of him in some aspects. And but he's had his own health challenges too. That's one thing that I say. You know, I have a guy that told me something years ago that I still sticks with me. He says, "Your mess is your message." In other words, God allows you to go through a mess or mistakes or things you've done wrong. Okay. And what happens is then how you recovered from all of that has a lot to do with your message and what you're called to do and share with people. And so let's give him a big round of applause for coming here, Alan.
Well, first and foremost, I'll let you know a little bit about who I am. I work for a supplement company out of the state of Wisconsin. It is the oldest supplement company in the industry. And to give you a little bit of an explanation of what that means, because a lot of people think supplements and they read a lot about articles about how supplements don't work. They've done nothing to prove any benefit as far as helping with cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer. There's a little bit difference between the company I represent and what you would generally go to the grocery store and purchase. The company I work for is a company known as Standard Process, again opened in 1929. We are a whole food supplement company. I'm not going into the science today of the difference between a whole food-based vitamin and a synthetic vitamin, but I will touch on some of those concepts so that you can get a better grasp of why it actually is shown in the scientific literature that eating whole foods is what ends up benefiting us from a health perspective more than ever of taking a synthetic vitamin. And actually, a lot of the research in taking purely synthetic vitamins has shown to be detrimental to longevity factors. So we're going to talk a lot about things that may make us feel uncomfortable, and in the field of psychology they call that cognitive dissonance. I'm not here to make people upset with some of this information. It's just the truth that I've come across in my career of 11 years with the company that I've come to share with you today. And then I also would recognize this concept of willful blindness. I'm going to tell you a lot of truths. If you can accept them, if you dismiss them, you're willfully doing that. And that's the concept of living in ignorant bliss. But as my mentor showed me, that when we live in ignorant bliss, that can actually hurt us. So hopefully what I share with you today can actually benefit you and to be more vital and capable in what you're all capable of doing in each one of your careers and companies. So I hope this information actually makes you stronger and helps to build a society, because it's my belief that civilization is built on the light, and that we are all light in the sense of we are all here for a purpose. And our job is to shine as bright as we possibly can. And we do that through our vitality. So if we can be vital, we can shine in our communities and help to build this civilization that's so important for us to protect. So sorry about that. So I usually give this presentation or this picture at the end of my presentation. It's really that close because people generally only remember the last thing that I'll present to them. So what I like to do is leave them with the concept that everything I've told you is a change in your genetic expression, called your epigenetic expression. When I was 31 years old, I weighed close to 270 pounds. I was in high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I was literally living a life that was causing me to feel out of balance, unhealthy, and unhappy. I was angry generally all the time, and I recognized that I was not living a life. And something within inside of me, which I believe is my connection to God, was saying to me, you need to make a change. And I had to make that transition for myself. So in that, I found this journey to where I stand today in the company I represent. I didn't just start working for Standard Process and everything changed. I made all of the mistakes one could make in trying to change one's health. I tried to do the low-carb diet. I tried to exercise all the time. I tried to do all of these things that I thought would benefit me from a health perspective, and all I found over and over again was that I continued to not feel well. So what that led me to was this idea of understanding that it's the nutrients we put into our body that actually help us feel and think in positive ways. So that's really what led me to this journey of standard process.
Who is the guy in the picture?
That's actually me.
That's you?
Yeah, that's me.
I thought maybe that's your brother.
So if you're here for
That's 270
keeping
pounds.
your hair dark and keeping it, this is not the so yeah. No, that is my son. He's a little bit older now. He's 14 now. He's definitely coming into his own, and we're entering that hormone world. So we're all trying to find that new balance inside the house. So I'll stay.